In the evening of April the 11th, representatives of the Azov regiment, which defends Mariupol, reported that Russia had used chemical weapons against the military and civilians in Mariupol. The chemical was dropped by a drone. This was reported on the pages of the unit on social networks. Azov added that the victims had a respiratory failure and vestibular tactic syndrome. Later, the commander of the Azov regiment, Andriy Beletsky, told the details in the video address. The Russians struck at Mariupol, at the Azovstal plant, at the fortress of Ukrainian fighters, at the fortress of the Azovs. 3 people have clear signs of chemical poisoning, but without catastrophic consequences. What does the use of the chemical weapons tell us? They understand the world will know that they are terrorists who violate the conventions, which means that they cannot take Mariupol, that they cannot take Ukrainian defenders. They think that they are showing strength, in fact, they are showing weakness. President Volodymyr Zelensky also stated that Russia is likely to use chemical weapons in Mariupol. A new statement was made by the occupiers, which shows that they are preparing a new stage of terror against Ukraine and our defenders. One of the occupiers' mouthpieces said that they could use chemical weapons against the defenders of Mariupol. We take it as seriously as possible. Information about a possible chemical attack is currently being verified by both Ukrainian law enforcement and international partners. 8 people died as a result of the shelling of Kharkiv region on April the 11th. Among the dead, a 13-year-old child. Another 19 people were injured. Among them are also children aged 4 and 9. Russian troops shelled Kharkiv all day. In addition, to remind you that they were throwing slow-action mines in the city from the artillery. Over the past day, sappers have cleared more than 80 such mines. They continue to be found on roads, near houses, on roofs, attics, and even on playgrounds. 1 person was killed and at least 3 others were injured in Russian shelling in Lysychansk last night. 4 houses were also destroyed there. This was announced by the head of the Lugansk Regional State Administration, Serhiy Haidai. According to him, there are 4 direct hits to houses in the city. 3 of them were completely destroyed, 1 partially. As a result of the Russian shelling of the village of Mykhailivka in the Donetsk region on April the 11th, 30 houses were damaged. This was reported by the Ministry of Internal Affairs of Ukraine. The report also says that rescuers are working on the scene and they found the wounded there. In Borodianka, on April the 11th, rescuers found the bodies of 7 people during the dismantling of the rubble of 2 multi-story residential buildings. In total, 19 people have been rescued from the rubble since the beginning of the works. This is to remind that Russians fight at the residential houses in Borodianka from the first days of the occupation. The Russians dropped bombs on 9 floors, and those people who were in the basements were buried alive. The Minister of Internal Affairs of Ukraine, Denis Monastyrsky, called the events in this town one of the greatest tragedies in Ukraine. According to him, Borodianka has become one of the most affected settlements in the Kyiv region from Russian military aggression.